The movie opens with a couple returning home, only to be shocked by the sight of a mysterious box in their bedroom. A voice from inside suggests someone is trapped within. When the man opens the box, a killer attacks him and the scene abruptly cuts. We then meet Arkin, a handyman who previously worked for the Chase family, consisting of Michael and Victoria and their two daughters, Jill and Hannah. The family recently moved into a new house undergoing repairs. Michael asks Arkin to fix an upstairs door, which he does. While working, Hannah approaches Arkin and asks him to play. During their chat, Arkin asks what gift she'd like, and Hannah expresses her love for teddy bears, hoping for one as a present. Michael arrives and Arkin shares that he has a daughter Hannah's age whom he adores. Later, while fixing a window, Arkin discovers a beehive and informs the exterminators, who promise to handle it. Jill, the older daughter, befriends Arkin by sharing his cigarette. Victoria urges Jill to join a family vacation, but Jill prefers to stay with her friends and declines. Michael pays Arkin, including extra money for his daughter, which Arkin gratefully accepts as he desperately needs it. That night, Arkin visits his wife and daughter, bringing a teddy bear for his daughter, who's thrilled. However, his family is drowning in debt with a midnight deadline to pay it off. When his wife questions how he'll manage, Arkin assures her he'll find a way by nightfall. He then meets a gangster who hires him to steal a valuable diamond from the Chase family's home, promising him 40% of its value. Arkin agrees. As Arkin attempts the theft, a dog unexpectedly attacks him at the door, surprising him since the Chase family doesn't own one. He manages to enter the house and tries to open the safe but hears someone approaching and hides. A masked killer enters, tracking Arkin's footsteps. When Arkin tries to escape, he finds the door secured with 5 locks, trapping him inside. Thinking of his family's debt, he returns to the safe. Suddenly, he hears screams as if someone is being tortured. Following the sound, he discovers Michael brutally killed by the killer. Michael, spotting Arkin, mistakenly believes Arkin is behind the attack. In a desperate move, Arkin grabs a golf club, but a rope trap ensnares Michael, hanging him. The killer has rigged the house with deadly traps to prevent escape. Arkin tries to call the police, but a trap in the phone pricks him. Attempting to flee through a window, his fingers get caught in a blade trap, though he frees himself in pain. In the basement, he finds Michael tied up. Arkin reassures him he's there to help and learns Victoria is held captive inside, Jill is at a party, and Hannah is hiding somewhere in the house. Michael reveals a gun in the safe and shares the password, urging Arkin to save them. Arkin instructs Victoria to scream to distract the killer, allowing him to slip upstairs. He opens the safe, retrieves the gun, only to find it unloaded, and pockets the diamond to settle his debts. Meanwhile, the killer tortures and kills Michael, hanging him upside down and mutilating him. Hearing a noise from a closet, Arkin finds a box inside, revealing the man from the film's opening. The man explains the killer collects humans, killing those he dislikes, and urges Arkin to flee. Arkin locks him back in the box for safety. Spotting an open window, Arkin enters the room, only to get stuck in glue the killer spread on the floor. A cat, also trapped, is thrown toward the window by Arkin to save it, but a blade trap kills it. When the killer investigates the noise, Arkin hides inside a bed. Returning to the basement, he finds Michael dead and promises Victoria he'll save her, instructing her to focus only on him. As they move, Victoria slips in blood, sees Michael's body and screams. Fleeing upstairs, she's stabbed by the killer. Arkin, hiding under a table, notices the killer releasing a spider, revealing the killer's fondness for them. The killer sews Victoria's mouth shut to silence her, giving Arkin a chance to plan an escape through a window. At that moment, Jill arrives home with her boyfriend. Arkin tries to warn them, but his voice doesn't carry. The killer unlocks the door and Jill and her boyfriend enter, unaware of the danger. The killer watches them in the kitchen. Arkin crawls under the table to warn Jill, but she spots the killer and panics. Her boyfriend attacks but is killed in a bear trap. Jill cleverly calls the police before the killer captures her, tying her neck with barbed wire to torture her. Arkin triggers the house alarm, luring the killer upstairs and frees Jill. Mistaking Arkin for the killer, Jill grabs scissors but dies in a trap. Heartbroken, Arkin tries to save the man in the box, only to find hooks embedded in his legs, preventing escape. Arkin breaks a window and flees but sees Hannah pleading for help from another window. As a father, he can't abandon her and re-enters the house. When the killer nears Hannah, Arkin attacks him and hides with her. They devise a plan to trap the killer by spilling aquarium water on the floor and dropping a TV to electrify it. The killer, sensing the trap, throws the boxed man into the room instead, electrocuting him. Arkin flees with Hannah, but the killer catches him. When Arkin awakens, he's bound and pleads for Hannah's life, offering his own. The killer ignores him, breaking Arkin's tooth with a chisel and hammer. A police officer, responding to Jill's call, arrives and sees the boyfriend's body through a window. The killer distracts the officer, using his dog to attack. Arkin escapes and discovers the killer's plan to blow up the house. He kills the dog with fire and fights the killer, injuring him. Spotting a large mirror, Arkin positions it by the door. The killer, mistaking their reflection for them, shoots, giving Arkin time to cut a trap's wire, which falls on the killer. Arkin grabs the killer's keys, escapes with Hannah, and they're taken into police custody. In the ambulance, Arkin is relieved, believing the stolen diamond will clear his debts. He asks a nurse to call his wife, but the killer rams the ambulance with his car, causing an accident. Ignoring Arkin's pleas to speak to his wife, the killer locks him in a box, revealing Arkin as his next collection. The movie ends with the chilling revelation that the collector tortures and traps humans in boxes, using them as bait for future victims, and has a peculiar affinity for spiders, sparing them while mercilessly hunting people. Now we are going to talk about the second part of Collector movie series, continuing the chilling tale of the sadistic killer known as the Collector. The film begins with a young girl named Elena returning home with her father from her mother's funeral. Her father promises to always stay by her side and never leave her. Tragically, their car crashes and the scene cuts away. In the present, the city is gripped with fear due to a notorious killer who has claimed numerous victims. We see Elena, now grown, working in her room when her boyfriend calls to say he can't meet her that night because of an important task. Elena brushes it off, telling him to finish his work. Soon after, her friend calls, inviting her to an underground party. Initially, Elena declines, but when she sees her friend waiting outside, she agrees to go. Noticing her father asleep, she sneaks out without telling him. At the party, Elena is devastated to see her boyfriend enjoying himself with another girl. Furious, she slaps him. Unbeknownst to her, the collector is watching from above, planning a mass murder with traps set throughout the venue. Heartbroken, Elena retreats to a room and cries. There she notices a shaking box. When she opens it, Arkin emerges, warning her to help him escape or the collector will kill everyone. As the box opens, a trap activates, unleashing a machine that brutally kills the partygoers one by one. Arkin frees himself and flees, while Elena watches in horror as her friend and others are trapped in a cage. The collector crushes them with an iron grate. Spotting Elena, he takes a liking to her. She runs to Arkin for help, but the collector captures her, locking her in a box and taking her away as Arkin escapes through a broken window. Arkin ends up in a hospital where he's treated for his injuries. His wife visits and he's overjoyed to see her. Noticing flowers on the table, he thanks her, but she reveals she didn't bring them. She finds a note reading for the collection, and Arkin realizes the collector sent them. Fearing for their safety, he urges his wife and daughter to go to her parents' house to avoid the killer. That night, Lucello, Elena's bodyguard, visits Arkin, asking for help to save Elena. He explains that Arkin is the only one who knows the collector well enough to track him down, as the killer keeps one victim alive while slaughtering others. Elena might still be alive, so they must infiltrate the collector's lair. In a flashback, we learn Lucello saved Elena during her childhood accident and has protected her ever since. Meanwhile, Elena awakens trapped in a box. Through a hole, she sees a man chained up. The collector arrives, cuts out the man's tongue, preserves it, and forces a metal mask onto his face, causing excruciating pain. Lucello assembles a team and Arkin leads them to the collector's hideout, an abandoned hospital, using marks he made on his arm to track the location from when he was taken there. Elena, using her bra strap, picks the lock on her box and escapes. She finds human body parts scattered in the room and another box containing a dead person. Hearing the collector approach, she hides. He notices her escape but remains unfazed, confident she can't leave. He releases spiders which crawl onto Elena. As Arkin unlocks the hospital's gate, an alarm alerts the collector, who activates his traps. Elena escapes into a tunnel where she encounters the collector's dogs. As the team searches for her, the collector kills one member. A woman with a metal mask and severed tongue runs toward them, and they shoot her, realizing she was drugged and tortured by the collector. More victims attack but the team escapes. Elena reaches a room and finds another box from which a terrified girl emerges. Elena explains she tricked the collector to escape and they flee together, though the girl seems off. Meanwhile, an injured boy warns the team they can't escape, revealing a bomb on his neck. Arkin pushes everyone back just as it detonates, killing the boy. In the chaos, another team member dies when a trap impales them with a rod. Arkin, determined to survive, separates from the group. In a room, he finds insect research and realizes the collector treats humans like insects, mutilating them into grotesque forms. He sees a girl nailed to a wall, begging for help, but before he can act, the collector slits her throat. Elena reaches a room with a window and spots two men outside by a fire. She screams for help but they can't hear her. Arkin is caught by the team who insist he stay with them. The collector traps and kills another team member, abducting a female member. The team spots the girl from the box, assuming she's a victim, and takes her in. Hearing screams, they follow the sound to a speaker, realizing it's a trap. Lucello escapes a blast and they find Elena, who warns them the girl is working with the collector. No one believes her as the girl appears to be a victim. Lucello, overjoyed to find Elena, promises to get her out. Elena shows them the window where she saw the men. Arkin shoots one in the leg, alerting the police, and fires at them to ensure backup arrives. The girl, enraged by the plan, locks them in the room, declaring they can't escape. She accidentally triggers a trap, killing herself. Infuriated, the collector attacks with an M416 rifle and his dogs. Arkin kills the dogs, but the collector wounds Lucello and kidnaps Elena. Lucello, trapped by a device, urges Arkin and the remaining team member to save her. The police arrive outside as the collector locks Elena, Arkin, and the team member in a cage. Arkin threatens to kill him, but the collector douses the area with gasoline, intending to burn them alive. Arkin has Elena break his hand to reach outside the cage and unlock it. They escape but the collector kills the team member. Lucello, having freed himself, fights the collector but is killed. Arkin beats the collector and throws him into a pile of bodies where he catches fire. As the flames spread, Elena smashes the collector's boxes, spilling water that extinguishes the fire. She and Arkin escape and the police rescue them. Elena's father arrives, embracing her, but they're devastated to learn of Lucello's death. Arkin notices the collector's body is missing, only his mask remains, hinting he's still alive. Months later, the collector is in a new house when he hears a noise. Arkin appears, holding a gun to his head, revealing he tracked him down because only 14 licensed researchers study insects in the area, and Arkin is one of them. When the collector asks if Arkin will shoot him, Arkin says he won't grant him an easy death. Instead, he'll make him suffer as his victims did. Arkin locks the collector in a box and takes him away, ending the movie. This chilling story showcases the collector, a psychopath who collects and mutilates humans like insects. Unlike typical slasher films, this sequel stands out for its uniquely terrifying villain. Be sure to watch this movie for a gripping experience. If you enjoyed this summary, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications. Don't forget to like and share.